Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Trial of the Pink Panther. And this movie came out in 1982, and it's directed by Blake Edwards once again. And this movie is also currently on Max if you want to check it out. And I thought this movie was pretty bad. It was very boring. It just did not need to exist. And there are some things that I liked about it, but overall, what really bothered me about this movie is that it didn't feel like it served a purpose, and the ending was just the most unsatisfying thing in the world, and nothing about it was really that engaging for me. The movie takes itself weirdly seriously after a certain point. And there were some comedic moments that did work for me, and I still like Peter Sellers as Inspector Clouseau, but unfortunately, he passed away by the time this movie was released, and they were just working with footage of him that was left. And a lot of his screen time is just footage from previous movies, and characters are constantly talking about him and what he did, and it's just like, oh, this movie is dedicated to Peter Sellers, like celebrating everything that he did, and that's nice and all, but unfortunately, it just doesn't make for a particularly engaging movie. They just really screwed up the story, and just they had something going for like the first 30 minutes, but after a certain point, they just took it to a grinding halt, and just wanted to celebrate everything that Peter Sellers did to this franchise, and that's about it. After that point, it's just a lot of nothing happening, and a lot of setup, and honestly, this movie just felt like it was made just so we could have the next movie, which I haven't seen before, I don't think. And speaking of things I haven't seen before, I was convinced that, okay, I think after Strikes Again, I don't think I've seen anything else after that point. Maybe I've seen Revenge, I'm not too sure. Then I watched Revenge of the Pink Panther like a few days ago, and I was like, oh, I've actually seen this entire film, and it just came back to me. And I was like, okay, Trial of the Pink Panther, I don't think I've seen at all. And then I watched it, I was like, I've seen all of this. And it was like flooding back to me. I was like, wow, I remember certain things about this movie, but the reason why I felt as though I have never seen this movie before is because there's nothing about it that really sticks with me. There's nothing about it that's like memorable, or like just makes it stand out from the entire franchise. And about halfway through the movie, I was bored out of my mind. I could not believe how bored I was while watching this movie. It had nothing. It was just a lot of the same thing happening over and over and over again. And characters constantly talking about Inspector Clouseau, how he just disappeared, and a lot of stuff just happens off screen, I guess. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next movie, but we'll see, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really interested in watching the next one, but I kind of feel like I'm obligated to watch it just because I didn't get a complete story from this movie. And like all of these Pink Panther movies, I do like the opening animated sequence. Those are always fun, and the only thing that I can say is improved in this movie over the last movie would be the Pink Panther theme. I thought it was a lot better. It wasn't exactly the same like in the earliest ones, but I did like it more than Revenge of the Pink Panther. And there's lots of moments where the movie is asking, do you remember this? Because they redo exact scenes from the previous movies, and not just like showing clips from previous movies, but reenact certain scenes. I was like, really? We're doing this? And the movie does take a while to get going, and for the first like 15, 20 minutes, nothing was really happening, but eventually it started moving along. It was like, okay, we're starting to move along here, and then, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes after that point, it just came to a grinding halt, and once we got to that point, nothing happened. And I really do feel as though this movie would have worked better if it were just a documentary saying, like, rest in peace to Peter Sellers, and just showcasing all the things that he did in his career and contributions to this franchise. And that would have been a lot better, honestly. But instead we have this, and it's just very dull and boring, and lots of scenes of just nothing happening. And also, what really hurts this movie also is that whenever the movie does not focus on Inspector Clouseau, it suffers because of it, because he's the most entertaining character in the entire film. And not to say everyone else is boring, but without Clouseau, like, the whole story doesn't work. Like, there's nothing fun and or engaging about the film without him. And also, about halfway through the movie, we get introduced to this female lead who I don't even remember her name. And she was a very boring character to follow through, and there was just nothing in this movie that worked for me, really, for the most part. And I liked the flashbacks of getting Clouseau's origins. That was kind of funny. But aside from that, this movie gave me nothing, and I was very, very disappointed with it. So skip this movie if you ever come across it. It's not good. It's not entertaining. It doesn't work as a standalone film. Nor does it work in the context of the Pink Panther movie. It's like all of them combined, and you pop this one in, and this one doesn't work for me, unfortunately. So I'm never going to watch this movie again. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Trial of the Pink Panther a 3 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Trial of the Pink Panther, and my social media links. It will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Drive Away Dolls. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.